Hello, good morning. Hi. Nice to see you again. Welcome to Tuesday the 12th of May. And it's fantastic to be here with you again. Today, we're going to look at the really interesting topic of families. So we're going to learn how to talk about families, your family, my family, and answer some of the typical questions we get in IELTS speaking around families. It is one of the most common topics that comes up, so it's really good to know some of the key vocabulary and have some ideas to talk about. Excellent. Let's say good morning to you all. Hi, Anna, Abhilasha, Nicole, good morning. Sharifa, nice to see you here. Rawia, Emmy, great. Elena, Sita, nice to see you. Sheila, Sasireka, brilliant. Try and pronounce it correctly. Hi, Ravi and Aisha and Zara. Dominique, good to see you here. Divas and Renu, a lot of you all over the world. Welcome, good morning. Very, very happy to see you. Today, we're going to be looking at the topic of families, as I just said. I'm going to kick off in a moment after I've had some of my world famous honey lemon ginger tea in my less famous Cambridge mugs, Cambridge College. Look, it's falling to pieces. Hopefully the real Cambridge College is much better than that. Oh, that hits the spot. It's nice. It just has a little bit of spice. So it has a kick, but it's a bit sweet because of the honey. It hits the spot. Just what you need to wake up in the morning. Right. This morning, it was great. I went out for a walk with my daughter. We went out for about an hour because now we can go out every day to do exercise. Hooray! So we went for a stroll around the park. Actually, not in the park, but around the park. And got some fresh air, although I must say relatively fresh air, because of course we had to wear the mask. So it wasn't that fresh. It was probably full of CO2 as you're breathing in your own CO2. Never mind. It was great to get outside. So a few more hellos. Ruma, hello, Mariko. Nice to see you here. Punam and Rima. ZR, hello, sir. What a great name. Zulfiye, hello. Good to see you here again, of course. And Mol, good morning. Dang Nguyen, nice to see you. Tom, the Kamar breed. Interesting name. Who else is here? Kriska, Raul, Rose, Suman. Why am I speaking in a Spanish accent? So, what's the topic? The topic, Bhavna, is families. Okay, families. Great. It seems that I have lost weight, Elena. Have I lost weight? And you know what it is. I've cut my hair, Elena. I've just literally shaved. I have a shaver. So I just literally shaved my hair and it makes me look thinner and younger. Certainly makes me look thinner. It does. But I'm very, very well. Okay. Laura from Italy. Nice to see you here, Laura. Brilliant. Oh, from Colombia. I've not had people from Colombia before. That's great. Okay. I'm very, very well. Good to see you. So families. Families. Let me begin by telling you a little bit about my family. I don't know if you know my family. You haven't met them, have you? So there are 3 people in my close family, what we sometimes call the nuclear family. So there's me, my wife, and my daughter. My wife is Chinese, and actually we met a long time ago, donkey's years ago. We actually met in Spain about 20 years ago. I was working in Spain at the time. I had been living there for about 7 or 8 years when I met my wife, and we met in a calligraphy class. I was studying calligraphy, right? And she was a friend of the teacher. Calligraphy, if you don't know, is the art of painting, writing. So the Chinese characters with a brush, and you draw it with a brush. And that's where we met. And then we started going out. cut a long story short, several years later we got married, and several years later we had a child. And so that's my daughter, the third member of the family, and my daughter is 13 years old. She's in secondary school. She's in the other room studying online as well, like you lot, because the school are closed. And she takes after both the mother and the father. She takes after me in some respects, definitely her personality. But she certainly has maybe the eyes and the hair from her mother. So she looks, well, she's mixed race. So she looks kind of half Chinese, half British. And that's my family in a nutshell. That's my family. Right. So now then, talking about my family, let me just go back and share something with you, because maybe I can write something down. Notice, introducing the family, notice that I didn't say there are 3 people in my family, which is quite common, right? People say there are 5 people in my family. No. There are 3 of us. It's much more common, right? There are 4 of us in my family. There are 3 of us in my family. So let me share this with you. Today's topic Nitu is family. Okay, so let me share my notes. Okay, so there are 3 of us, right, in my family. It's the more natural way of explaining it. I met my wife. Nowadays, a lot of people don't say husband or wife, but they say partner. You can also say spouse. There are many reasons people say partner, because partner is a safe word, right? And why is it a safe word? Because nowadays, a lot of people don't get married. So they are not really husband and wife, but they may be what we call a common law couple, which means that they are legally recognized as being together if they've been together for a long time. But they're not married. So they're not husband and wife, but they are a couple, and they're legally a couple. Especially in England, this is possible. So partner avoids the embarrassment of, are you married? Are you not married? Husband, wife? Partner is a very neutral word. Also, of course, it's a safe word because some people, if they are homosexual or lesbian, and if they're a man and they have a husband, or a woman and they have a wife, these are things that even in many countries is not very open, and people don't want to embarrass people, right? Saying to a man, where's your wife? Maybe he has a husband or a boyfriend. So partner is a neutral and a safe word. So you hear this word a lot more nowadays, right? I met my partner, or I met my wife or husband, obviously, if it is a man, but partner or spouse are the words we can use. Okay, now here's the interesting thing. Okay, here's the interesting. I was working in Spain at the time. So the first thing I told you about my wife was that she's Chinese. But I didn't really describe her personality or describe her appearance, right? Because, to be honest, what most people are interested in is, how did you meet? And telling the story of how you met your partner is one of those great, really interesting conversation starters. And even for an IELTS examiner, they're probably more interested, and it's more entertaining to talk about that story than to say, well, she has long hair, she has short curly hair and blue eyes. I mean, that's nice. But when you go into, when we first met, right, I was working in this company, she was my boss, and then I'd been working there for several years, and then we met, and you tell the story. And it's very, very simple to use complex grammar. And this is the way that I did it, right, is to say I was working in a bank, at the time, or I was studying at university at the time. Okay, very, very simple. So you've got the present, not the present, the past continuous. You could then clarify how long I had been working there for several years, or I had been studying there for a year, and then we met in the biology class, or in the meeting room. I don't know. We met in calligraphy class. So look at this. This is fantastic. You've got past continuous, past perfect continuous, and the simple past. 3 tenses in a very short anecdote or story. 3 very, very great, very great. No, 3 good tenses you can use very, very simply, right? So it's really effective and really powerful, because the examiner's always listening out for complex tenses and complex grammar, and that just gets a little light, goes, ooh, a little light goes on. So it might be nice to use that. Okay. What about the students? Yes, you mean pay attention to you guys. I'm talking a lot, I know. Okay. Let me come back. So that is a very, very simple template you can use. And I'm going to let you know, because I'm working on a project, by the way, another project. This is a kind of template that I am developing for part 1, part 2, and part 3 of the IELTS test. And in the next few weeks, hopefully, I want to be producing this, which is a Templates for IELTS Speaking audiobook. And I'm hoping to produce this in the next couple of weeks. And it's based on this idea of having tenses, grammar, language, very simple templates that you can practice and use for different kinds of questions. The key thing, though, is to learn the language and flexibility. So these templates are useful, right? But you have to practice using them. You have to practice being flexible and changing them, not just memorizing them and learning the language around it. Okay, so that's in the pipeline. Good. Let's see. Let's find out what you guys are up to, your families. Here we go. Pavandeep. There are 6 of us in my family. Brilliant. Apart from my parents, I have 2 younger brothers and 1 sister. Very nice. Apart from my parents. That's great. That's good. We've got Navpreet. There are 5 of us. Brilliant. Dung is I'm single. Absolutely. So single. So you've got probably a direct family. So what we call the direct family or immediate family includes your mother, your father, grandparents, and your own children or partner. So you're single, but you may have parents and grandparents. That would be your immediate family or your direct family. If it's just your partner or spouse and children, we may say it's the close family. If you want to include all your cousins and uncles and aunts, that's the extended family, right? The extended family. Okay. So maybe I should just write that down to make that clear. We've got, let me share this with you. So we've got my close family. I know, and I've read nuclear family. It's not an expression we use a lot, but it does exist. So you can talk about my close family. So that's your partner and your children. Then you've got your direct family or immediate family, including parents and grandparents and your children. And then everybody and his dog is the extended family. That's your uncles, your aunties, your cousins, etc., etc., right? You've got all of those as well. Okay. So we've got some nice language here from Punit. I belong to a nuclear family, and I am the younger one, and I have 2 siblings. You've got two B's, but it's one B. Two siblings. That's your brothers and sisters, right? Brilliant. My mother is a homemaker. Interesting. Yes, that is becoming a very popular expression. And my father is self-employed. Right. Excellent. Yes. I think before we used to say my mother is a housewife was a common expression. But again, nowadays, it's become more popular to say a homemaker, maybe. Let's see, what else have we got? So here we go. Rima, if we're still living with our parents, we should talk about my siblings. Yes, absolutely. Talk about your siblings, your brothers, your sisters, yeah, and your parents. Kazi, this is also a very nice expression. We are a family of 6. There are 6 of us. Nice also. Yes. How about if I'm not married? Talk about your siblings. If you're an only child, talk about your parents. If you're an orphan, you could talk about extended family if they are still around and in contact, uncles and aunties. If you've absolutely got no family connections at all, then talk about that. Explain that you don't have any family connections, and talk a little bit about it. Okay. So here, Prawasha, I have right, everybody? I have a nuclear family, but at present I'm in South India alone. Oh dear, stuck away from my parents. Oh dear, during this lockdown. Oh dear, it's a common story. And this brings us towards actually one of the first questions I was going to look at around family, which is, do you spend a lot of time with your family? Okay, so this is one of the first questions. We're going to look first at part 1 questions, and this is a part 1 question. I'm going to come back and look at some of your answers as well in a moment, but just let me share this one with you. Do you spend much time with your family? Okay, guys, what do you think? Okay, we've got some nice ones here. We are a family of 4, lovely. A son, a daughter, and of course the parents. I am the youngest member. We are a family of 4, a son, a daughter, and of course the parents. You're the youngest member. So who are you? Are you the son or the daughter or the parent? We are a small family, my husband and I. Great, good. I have a big joint family. We are a group of 9 people. Right, big family. I wonder if that's your close family or your immediate family or extended family. Great. I am from extended. So I notice everybody's dropping the "a" today, or the "an." So put it back in. I am from an extended family, but I live alone in Kolkata. Oh, Ruma. Well, hopefully today, at least in the class, this will cheer you up and give you a bit of company. Okay. Let's see what we've got. We've also got, there are 7 of us. I've got 4 brothers. That's a big family. I met my husband during my college days. I was studying there for 3 years. Brilliant. I was studying there for 3 years. Where is it? Where is your... Oh, I've lost your place. Oh, it's moved. Your message has moved, so I can't finish it. Oh dear. Never mind. That's nice. Oh, I was studying there for 3 years while he was on his 4th year of his course. Got it. Brilliant. There are 4 of us in my family. My husband and I had known each other for a donkey year. Donkey's years, has to be the plural. Donkey's years before we started to be in love. Oh, it is. It's a romantic story. It's nearly 20 years since we got married, and we've got 2 sons, both of whom take after his father. That's nice. Take after the father or the mother, of course, means to be similar to. It may be personality or it may be physical appearance, both of those. Right. Alina, due to the lockdown, I spend 24/7 with my parents. Now, that might be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. Yes, I can. That's true. Orphan children probably have guardians. Maybe, possibly. Yes. Okay. I hardly get time to spend with my family. Good. Hardly get time. This is an interesting question. How a married woman can include her own family along with her in-laws. How can a married woman include her own family along with her in-laws? Well, you can. You mean, I know there are cultural differences here, but in the test you can just talk about your own family as well as your husband's family, the in-laws. You can talk about both, sure. Okay. During quarantine time, I'm 24/7 with my family members. Right, this is probably going to be quite common, right? Right, okay, here's an interesting one. Most of time, so most of the time, okay, most of the time, because I'm doing job from home. So normally here, we would say I'm working from home, right? I'm working from home. Okay, good. And for Nguyen, not much, as I'm living quite far away from my family members, right? Family members, we don't say much in English. We really don't use that very much at all. So we tend to drop the members. And I know a lot of students say this, oh, my family members. Just say my family. It's much more natural. I'm living quite far away from my family because we understand there are different people in the family. So you don't need to say members. More natural without, I think. Okay, great. Barbie, I love to spend, not send. I know it's typos because people are typing quickly. I love to spend quality time with my parents and play with my pets. It's interesting, right? Because some people do see their pets as family as well. Here's a nice expression. We are a close-knit nuclear family of 3. Close-knit means very, very tight, very close. Lovely. I like that. A few of you have used that expression, I noticed. Brilliant. As a mother, I squander my time on my family. An interesting use of the word squander. That's nice. That's very, very nice. Is it I mean, squander means a bad use of your time. I'm not sure if that's what you mean, but you spend a lot of time for sure. Yes. Okay. Great. We've got, I try to spend quality time. That's great. A nice expression of quality time. I love spending time with my family. That's nice from Laura. Great. We can talk about spending a lot of free time. Great. Spend time with. Brilliant. Okay, let me move forward. We've got lots of comments here. I'll try and pick up 1 or 2 others. We've got here, we've got recently, not really, because I'm studying abroad, and I really miss the happiness time, the happy time with them, I think, the happy time. Great, I adore spending time with my immediate and extended family. Brilliant, great. So here we've got another mixed family. My family is multicultural, says Eliza. There are 3 of us. My husband is Jordanian and I am Brazilian, and my son is 2 years old. Great. Right. Interesting. Although we have different cultures and religions, we are raising our son under both thoughts. It is a challenge, but we have been doing it very well. Well done. I totally empathize. It is a challenge, yes, but very, very good. Excellent. Okay, some great answers coming up here, mostly about spending time, close families. Brilliant. Just let me pick out anything else interesting that we have. Okay, we've got here from Moll. I normally don't spend time with my family because they are miles away. That's nice. They are far away, miles away from me. Great. And I think this is good. My family, rather than family members, right? Spend time with my family because they're miles away. That's nice, Moll. Excellent. Great. Okay. So let me I'm going to share with you another question, actually. Another part 1 question before I change a bit. The next part 1 question is this one. It's a tough question. Do you prefer spending time with your family or your friends? Sacre bleu. What a tough question. Family or friends? Now, do remember that examiners do sometimes ask leading questions. And right, a leading question is one that is kind of pushing you to answer in a certain direction, right? For example, why do people drink tea? Well, it's pushing you to agree that people drink tea, but maybe they don't, right? So maybe they don't. Do you prefer tea or coffee? Well, maybe you like both. So although the question is pushing you to choose one or the other, you don't have to, right? You can say, well, I like both. Or actually, I don't like either. I don't like my family or my friends. I want to be alone. I'm going to sit in a mountain on my own. But so the point is, you can say both, right? You don't have to choose. The question is pushing you to choose, but you don't have to. It's not about the choice. It's about the language, right? So you could say something like this. I like both equally, right? For example. But let's see. Yes. Depends on my mood. Great, Hussein. That's a very good point, right? It depends on my situation in various times of my life. Very, very true, right? It depends what you're doing. Some interesting ones. I prefer spending time with my family from Neha. Shirin says, without doubt, my family is my priority. Without doubt. Great. Without a shadow of a doubt. It's a nice expression. Without a shadow of a doubt. Great. Here again, sure, I prefer to spend time with my family rather than my friends, right? Priti, thank you very much for that. We've got from Marimsha, I enjoy being with my family, going places, visiting my daughters. I like that. Going places, visiting my daughters has a nice rhythm. That's great. We take my foster son to a lot of different places. Great, nice language. It's your situation, of course. But for everybody, foster son is a great expression to know. I love to express my time with my family. This one, I love to express my time. Not express, you can't express time. I love to spend time or spend my time with my family. However, I prefer to spend quality time with friends also, right? So you can have both, right? Rimsha, once a week I will play bingo with my friends. I like the will. That's really nice, right? A present habit. I will play bingo with my friends. But family is so important to me. So I have, what do you have? I have to say I would rather be with my family. Okay. How about members of my family? Yes. There are 6. Yes. Yes. But again, we don't say it very much. So a lot of people in favor prefer their family. Kavita, I choose my family because family also like friends, such as we enjoy together, including jokes and fun. Oh, because your family are like your friends, right? Your family are also like friends. That's true, yes. This is a nice answer, Meng Xiao, because it is a tricky question. I like to spend time with both of them. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Good. Now then, this is interesting. Alina, I'd prefer, so you can say I prefer or I would prefer, spending time with people. Spending time with people which I feel, I prefer spending time with people with whom I feel calm and safe, with whom I feel calm and safe rather than others. It doesn't matter if they are my flesh and blood or friends. My flesh and blood. Great. My family. Great. Okay. So there are different, both of them, right? There's a mixture. A nice summary here. I reckon that they are both equally important. Says pretty, very, very good. Yes. A lot of you say both of them. I utilize time. I spend time. I think spend time is the best collocation here. Okay, so we've got similar. That's a tough question to answer. And that's really a nice way to begin. If it is a tough question, say it's a tricky or it's a tough question. I like both, depending upon the time and the situation. Okay, so that was the part 1 questions. Now, I'm just going to move on. Let me see. Anyone else? Yes. Yeah, here's one from Jayanta. It depends actually where I'm going. For example, if I'm going to a bar, I'd like to hang out with friends. But if I'm doing that's a nice, right? That sounds like a classic part 1 template. It depends. If I'm doing blah, 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 then blah. If I'm doing blah, 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 then blah. It's nice, right? If I'm going to a bar, I'd like to hang around with friends. Great. Hang out, hang around, both good. But if I'm going for a movie, I'd like to spend that time with my family. Brilliant. Nice, Jayanta. Good. Very good. Okay. So let me share with you something else. And I'm just going to do a little bit of language here, because talking about ages or periods in our life, because when we're talking about family, we may talk about babies, children, teenagers, adults, parents, grandparents, old people, and it's useful just to know the different terminology, the different terms for these. So I'm going to share with you different stages of life. I think it was Shakespeare who said life is a stage, right? And we are all players on that stage. And there are 7 stages in our lives. And he talks about 7. I've got 7, as if by chance. So let me share this with you. I'll just talk you through the different stages and a few expressions that might be useful to talk about these different stages. So bear with me while I also have a drink. Keep drinking. It's so important, right? Keep hydrated. Okay, here we go. Jayant, I'm sorry, but you're off. So, babies. How can I make this bigger? I know. Hey, nice. So, babies. So, the ages of life, right? We begin with a baby, who's the young one, the little one, maybe up to 1 year old. And when we talk about babies, we just tend to say, well, they eat, cry, and sleep, right? She eats, cries, and sleeps. That's what babies do. Yeah. Oh, that's a nice one. So toddler, she is baby. She takes after, right? Looks like, we said this before, takes after her mother. So looks like, personality or appearance. A toddler is normally between 1 and 3 years old. And at that age, they can be stroppy, right? She's so stroppy. I need that is there. I'm writing too fast like you guys. She is so stroppy. Stroppy means challenging, annoying, always demanding. Demanding, that's the word. Always demanding things. I want this. I want that. Give me this. I want that. It's mine now. I want it, right? Stroppy and demanding. Somebody just had this one. He is a bundle of joy. It was a nice expression. Who was that? Who gave us a bundle of joy? Rangana. Yeah, he's a bundle of joy. Meaning, he's great fun. Great expression. He absorbs everything like a sponge. And because babies and toddlers do, toddlers just learn things so quickly. So they learn quickly. They absorb things like a sponge, right? Then we also have something called the terrible twos. And apparently, a lot of parents will understand this. When a baby or a toddler reaches age 2, they do become quite stroppy, demanding, crying a lot. And this is called the terrible twos. because it's the age where they're very difficult to handle. Does anybody have a child who's 2 years old or a toddler? It's a very difficult age, and we often say, oh, they're at the terrible 2 stage, right? Okay. Infants is another word. Yes, toddlers, preschoolers, schooler, adolescent. Okay, good. So toddler, I'm going to put together with infant, because infant is kind of, yes, it's kind of 2 to 5 years old. Infant school would be that, 2 to 5 years old, similar to a toddler. Brilliant. So we've then got, what have we then got? We've got child, right? We talk about a child. Now, a child can be anything from 5 up to 11 or 12. He throws tantrums. Now, this is also true of toddlers. Toddlers throw tantrums. And a tantrum is when you get angry. You get angry, but also if you see the children at that age, they get really angry, they shout and they throw themselves on the floor and they just go berserk. They go crazy. They lie on the floor, their arms are kicking and the legs are kicking, and they really like to do it in public places, right? In the supermarket. So 1 minute you're pushing your trolley, here's some food, and little Johnny says, I want chocolate. And you say, not today. And little Johnny goes, wah, and falls on the floor and starts kicking and shouting and screaming. And you're like, oh my God. Johnny's tantrum. He's throwing a tantrum. And it's ever so embarrassing because then all the other parents look at you like, oh, take control of your child. You can't. It's a tantrum. It just happens, right? Anyway, those are tantrums. There's a nice one. Kids are drama queens. They are, aren't they? Some kids are really drama queens. Okay, some nice expressions here. Apple of my eye, right? He or she's the apple of my eye. And we often say this for children when you really love your children and you like your children. Let's put that one in here. He's the apple of my eye. It's a nice expression. Okay. Also, so tantrums are not good, but the good side is you can say, well, she's a barrel of fun. She's a barrel of fun, meaning she's a lot of fun, right? A lot of fun to play with. What else have we got? Pester, vrima, that's nice. So let's put that as well. Maybe toddlers or children, maybe both of those. Pester their parents. So pester is to ask for something again and again and again. I want to go out. I want to go out. I want to. That's to pester, right? Good. So absorbing things like a sponge. We've got this nice expression from Gokalp. Toddlers are good at picking things up. So that's the same as absorbing like a sponge, right? Learning quickly, picking things up. Excellent. Nice expression. Griska, toddlers drive me nuts. Do you mean your toddlers or other people's toddlers? Often it's other people's toddlers, right? Indeed. Right. Great. My toddler is turning 2. Wow. So lucky you. You're about to face the lovely, terrible 2s. Yes. Bolshi, that's nice. Stroppy is bolshi. That's let's put that one in because that's also a nice word. Bolshi. Thank you very much for that. Abdulrahman. That's great. Bolshi. Nice word. Okay, what else have we got? My daughter's a toddler, lots of toddlers, lots of tantrums, go bananas. Yes, exactly. Tantrum is to go bananas, go crazy. We also talk about temper tantrums, to lose your temper. That's exactly it, right? It's you're losing your temper or you have an outburst, as Preeti says. Yes, exactly. So tantrums, get angry. Let's put all of these in. These are great. An outburst. Okay, brilliant. What else have we got? Hard nuts to crack. Yeah. I'm the apple of my I'm the apple of my parent. Oh, I'm the apple of my parents' eyes. Yes, nice. Brilliant. Okay, moving on. Let me just move that down. So we've got children. She's a barrel of fun. He's the apple of my eye. Teenagers, then. She's in that rebellious stage. Now, I don't know teenagers in your country, but teenagers in England, you must become a rebel. You must fight against everything and challenge everything, especially your parents. It's where you learn the magical word no. Right? Sometimes teenagers can be horrible. I was a horrible teenager, really. I know, you can't imagine, right? But I was. And also, you can't imagine, I had long hair. As a teenager, I had my hair down to here. I was a rock and roller. I loved rock and roll music. I played the guitar. I was a headbanger, long hair. And I was terrible because my parents would say, Keith, it's time to cut your hair. No. We think you should go to the hairdressers. No. And it's where you learn the word no, right? Everything is no. Why not? I don't want to. No, but you should do. No, I don't want to. Teenager language, especially in England. So I was a terrible teenager for my parents. I was a hard nut to crack. So teenagers learn all of those things, right? They tend to drive us up the wall. Yes. Teenagers are pretending to be grown-ups. Oh, they are pretend grown-ups. Right. Exactly. They are. Right. Sometimes annoying. Yes. That's interesting. Two of you have said the same. Sometimes annoying. No, it's the same person. Teens, what age is adolescent? So adolescent is the change. It's the puberty, right? It's the change when your body changes in puberty. So anything from 12 to 14, 15, that's the adolescence. It's when you go through that physical and emotional change, that hormonal change. It's hard to put an age because every child is different. So the physical changes may begin at 11. They may begin at 13 or 14. So adolescence is similar to teenager. The word teenager actually comes from teen, right? If you think 11, 12, 13, 14, teen age, 15. So really it's from 13 up to 19. It's a teenager linguistically, right? But I think by the time you're 18, you're actually an adult. You're not really a teenager. You become an adult. Children, not children's. Yes, nice point. Thank you for pointing that out, Preeti. Children. That's the plural. One child, two children. Great, Rimsha. I'm very cute explaining the tantrum. It's because I've experienced, right? I've got experience of tantrums. My experience. Not so much my daughter. She was not a big one for tantrums, but I think I was a tantrum toddler when I was young. That's what my parents told me. Teenager, it's a very delicate stage. Absolutely. Yes. They are rebels. Exactly. Most teenagers indulge in juvenile delinquency. Yes. Yes. Juvenile delinquency is a strong term. It's actually a criminal term, isn't it? It's also when you break the law, then it's called juvenile delinquency. So it's quite a strong term. I'm not sure all teenagers go that far, but certainly rebellious, certainly breaking the rules, yes. Breaking the law, not so much. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But definitely they like to break the rules, question everything. Yes. How many kids? I have just the one, Prawasha, just one child. Yes. Brilliant. Let me come back then to that sheet. Where were we? No, where are we? Come back. Here we are. So teenagers in that rebellious stage. Anything else we can add for teenagers? Yeah, that's true. They think that they know everything. Yep. They become parasites. Is that because they stay at home all the time? Yes. It's a very difficult period in their life, Zulfiya. I totally agree. Yes. Now, this is the very good side, right? As Mansour says, they are more creative and gallant and never accept anything without thinking of it. That is so true, which means that they are super creative because we kind of accept things and don't question things. And often that's a mistake. And teenagers question everything. I think that's really good. Yes. So maybe another word is they are going through puberty, which is the kind of the biological word, hormonal changes, and things like that. So, you could reference that when talking about teenagers. Okay. Then we're moving on, the young adult. Maybe young adult, you become then responsible. Maybe you're responsible, or maybe not. And if you're not, then you're irresponsible, right? So the opposite. So some young adults, because suddenly they come of age. Oh yes, they come of age. That's the other one. They come of age. So basically when you're 18, you become an adult. And we say to come of age. They come of age. And sometimes that change, they suddenly become very irresponsible for a number of reasons. I think because they start to get their confidence, maybe they start working and get money, all sorts of things happens, and sometimes they're irresponsible. Sometimes they're responsible. I mean, I'm not generalizing. Another way of saying irresponsible is to say they're all over the place. Now, she's all over the place means basically a little bit irresponsible, but they don't know what they want. They don't know what they want to do, and they're a bit confused about their direction in life. So we say she's all over the place. Another expression here is she's all grown up, which is it doesn't just mean that you've grown up. It doesn't just mean that you've got taller and that you've become an adult. But it's emphasizing the change from them when they were a child and now they're an adult. Their appearance, but their behavior. And they're suddenly behaving more responsibly, more like an adult. And you say, oh, they're all grown up. Maybe it's a common thing for elder parents or even grandparents to say, oh, look at little Johnny. He's all grown up when he's 18, right? And he's literally looking like a man. So that you often hear that. Right. Oh, what's happened? Let me come back to that. Let me see what else we've got. Can we add anything about young adults? Oh, can I work the technology, more importantly? What else have we got? Anything? Transition period. That's nice. Yep. Teen numbers. Interesting, right? Yeah, Pascali, that's true about teenagers. Yep. Oh, okay, great. God is good. They grow wings. So children grow wings, and that means that they start to leave the nest, right? So they have grown wings. It's a really good expression. And then they're leaving the nest. Of course, the nest is the family. And as they leave the nest, they get a job, they move out of the house, or they leave home, literally. So we often say they've grown wings and they're leaving the nest. Nice, lovely. Thank you for that. God is good, brilliant. Yeah, juveniles are not punished by law. Oh, because they're too young. Ah, right. Oh no, we have a. Oh no, you can get punished in England for sure. There are special juvenile centres for juvenile delinquents. They're not prisons, but they're special centres that are similar to a prison, but for young people. But that's a different topic. Let's move on. While we're still on teenagers, young adults find their direction in life. Somebody had, yes, Sasirika. So it's difficult to find their direction in life is good. We can talk about maturity. Yep, they are mature, as Daniela says. It's a time to learn from mistakes. Absolutely. A lack of decision making. Yes, that's right. Very good. So what do you want to do for your future job? I don't know. I can't decide. Right. That's nice, Jennifer. Yes, my boyfriend is a teenager with a beard and lovely smile. Lovely. Good. And this one, Fatima, my husband behaves such as a toddler. I hope he's not watching, or he'll throw a tantrum. Now, this is very true. Young adults overestimate their abilities. Yes, they do indeed. What else have we got? Start of their career. So good from Krishka. Age of criminal responsibility, talking about crime. It's the age of the full civil rights. Yep, they become an adult. Yep, exactly. Right, got you, Zashin. Thank you, got it. Brilliant. So we got adults, young adults. That's not where I am. Where am I? Hey, come back. Here we are. So let's just finish up on old age. Oh, middle age. So middle age, that's kind of my age, right? Middle age is, well, it's kind of around 40, 50, middle age, 40, 50-year-old, I guess. Maybe as high as 60. So in between kind of your working life and retirement. So we've got the great thing, it's a terrible thing, but the midlife crisis, right? So traditionally when you're 40, many men and women go through a midlife crisis, which is where you start wearing, like you said, a teenager tries to be an adult. It's where an adult tries to be a teenager. So you start wearing caps and leather jackets and growing your hair long and smoking dope and trying to be young again. You're trying to be a teenager even though you're 40. And especially men in their midlife crisis are very, very funny. They start going to rock concerts and dancing and trying to be really young and cool again. But it lasts normally for about a year or two, and then we get over it. That kind of thing. How old am I? I'm 52. Yeah, I'm definitely middle-aged. I never thought I would reach middle age, but I am. And actually, I'm quite enjoying it. It's quite fun, to tell you the truth. Here we are. So middle age. And then sometimes, right, we talk about getting on or over the hill. So if you're getting on, it means you're getting older. So, oh, she's getting on. She's getting older, but kind of in a negative way, right? So she's getting older. Suggesting what? She's getting on. Well, for example, if you're not married, then people will say, oh, she's getting on. It's like you're getting too old. So she's getting on, or he's over the hill, or she's over the hill. It means you're too old, right? So again, if you're not married, people say, oh, you're getting over the hill. You need to get married. Or you haven't had children yet. Oh, that's so annoying. Why have you not had children? You're getting over the hill. You must have children soon. Right. So yeah, some interesting comments here. So that's middle-aged. Let me move on to old-aged. Old-aged or the elderly. And of course, that's more, I think, anything after retirement. Although when you're 20, 30 looks like old age, doesn't it? But it's more when you're 65, 70, 80, 90, 100, things like that. Did you see the lady in Spain had her 110th birthday the other day? Amazing. So old age. He's doing well for his age is a common expression, right? So somebody who's old, 70, 80, but still is quite strong, can walk around, has their mental capability. We say, oh, he's doing well for his age. If you saw the news about Tom, Captain Tom, right, the soldier in the UK who walked around his house, around his garden 100 times, and he was 100 years old, and he walked around his garden to get sponsorship for money for the nurses. So we say, oh, he's doing well for his age, right? It's a common expression. Yes. Needy, I like this. Let me be me, middle age. Let me be me, brilliant. This is nice. Oh, elderly people enjoy their autumn years, but they become lonely. Yes. I like the old age because my grandmother is at 90, great. And I hope she's doing well for her age. It's retirement age, absolutely. And it's when you engage in more spiritual activities, that's right. In my midlife crisis, I started meditation and started this spiritual activity because we're looking for meaning, aren't we? Beyond what? Beyond work. Or meaning in work. This is nice. Time-honored members of society, the elderly, yes. The pains and the wrinkles, that's right. They act like children. They almost go back to being children, right? Sometimes. Can you tell me the idioms related? I can. And maybe you saw my cheat sheet, and I've just noticed the time. I think I talk too much, don't I? Yes, let's come and have a look at that. Let's come back to my little cheat sheet. So that's old age. A final one. She'll live to a ripe old age. It just means to an old age, but a ripe old age, you can't see it. A ripe old age, it's a bit like maturity, to be mature, like fruit. So it just means a good age. She'll live to be a ripe old age, like that woman who was 110. Wow, amazing. And yet she still had her, mental faculties. She was still quite clear about things. I like these. Yep, age of wisdom. Yep, they're the mirror of wisdom is nice. Yeah, sometimes we say geriatric people. The elderly are geriatric people. Nice. Yeah, good stories come to surface. Very true, Mary. That is absolutely true. Yes. So, idioms. My close family, we talked about that earlier. Close-knit family we had. Modern family, if you saw that. I really can't work out the sound problem. I was playing the link, and on all my browsers, the sound is fine, and yet everybody said they can't hear it. Sorry about that. Questions then. So I will leave these notes, as always, on the website. So we've only looked at part 1 questions because I'm so slow. I'm so slow. That's what happens when you get older. You slow down. You can't go as quick. So maybe, in my middle-aged years, I've slowed down and I've not got through all the questions. Oh, dear. So we haven't looked at part 3 questions, but they're here for your reference, right? The importance of family. How are families today different from the past? Some of you have put some fantastic answers to this in the Facebook group. So if you've not joined the Facebook group, Keith IELTS Mastermind Community, go and join the group. Look at the comments in the one of the latest posts about families. It's the modern family post. Some really good comments about how families today are different from the past. The role of grandparents, whether they spoil children or look after children, and who should be responsible for the care. I'm sorry, we've not answered these. Maybe we can do a part 2 on family, possibly. What do you think? Part 2 on Thursday about family? Maybe. So let me have a look at some here. My Udemy course I wanted to mention at the end. I'll do that in a moment. Idioms. Like father, like son means that they are the same. They're similar. It runs in the family. So this means that you have similar traits. All the members of the family have a similar behavior or personality trait or something inherited, right? It runs in the family. So you could say ginger hair. I know. All right. How do I turn this, right? Used to be ginger before it was going grey. Ginger hair runs in my family, right? A lot of people have ginger hair. Or musical talent runs in my family, right? A lot of people are musicians. Musical talent runs in my family. Or depression runs in my family. It's not true, but things like that, things that may run in the family, we can talk about. Okay. And I follow in my dad's footsteps, or I follow in my mum's footsteps. That doesn't necessarily mean I take after them, but it means you did the same thing, right? So, for example, if your father is a lawyer and then you decide to study law and become a lawyer, you follow in your father's footsteps, right? And very often when you take over the family business, yeah, then you follow in your father's footsteps. Blood is thicker than water. We talked about earlier that family is more important than friends, maybe, than friends or anybody else, for that matter. So blood is thicker than water. That's my Manchester accent. Blood is thicker than water. She's the breadwinner, or he's the breadwinner. So the person who brings home the bacon, basically, who earns the money. Or we say, bring home the bacon. Yeah, the bacon, literally, that food. He earns the money, or he brings home the bacon. And it's not talking about breakfast. And finally, the black sheep of the family is the naughty one. The naughty one, or the bad one, right? If somebody in your family is let's say, a juvenile delinquent, or goes to jail, or goes to prison, they're the black sheep of the family. They're the kind of the naughty one, the bad person in the family. There's often a black sheep of the family. Right. Okay. So those are some idioms for you. And I'm sorry we've not gone through everything I wanted, but the sound was fine. Good. You've gotten your liquid. You've gotten your liquid. Slow down and smell the roses. Thank you very much. I like that. Let's slow down and smell the ginger. There's no point rushing through anything, right? At all. Okay. The more I get older, the more I want to go back in the day. Oh, yeah, possibly. But the more you get older, the more you can enjoy the day. Enjoy today. Right. Yeah, that's right. I'm not a software engineer. Thank you very much. Okay. A chip off the old block is a nice idiom. Thank you very much, Swati. A chip off the old block means that you look like, or you're similar to your parents. Yes. Yes, we need a part 2. Yes, we need a part 2. Right. Maybe a part 2 on families. Yes. Lynn, I'm getting on. Not married yet at 35. Oh, Lynn, don't worry. Don't worry. Some people get married at 40, 50. My auntie got married at 65, right? I'm not saying wait, right? Don't go that slowly. Okay. Yes, on a part 2. Yes, we need a part 2. Okay, it seems like we're going to do a part 2 next time. Health problems set in. Lovely, Krisky. Health problems begin or set in. Very, very nice. Like it. Okay, nice hair. Come on. I've got no hair. Hardly any hair. Yeah, this one, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. It's the same thing, right? That you're similar to your parents. Makes sense. Nice. These are all nice. Yes. So Ruchi, we can say like mother, like daughter. because history is chauvinistic, and unfortunately it's been a male-dominated society. Lots of idioms are male-dominated, like father, like son, and that's the idiom that we use. But more today than ever before, people are saying things like this, like mother, like daughter. Absolutely. Why not? Why just be a male-dominated society? It's crazy. Half the sky, right? Like mother, like daughter. Great. Yeah, this is a nice example. Pretty good athletes run in my family. That's very funny. It's good, right? Because there's the pun. Good athletes run in my family. Love it. Like it. Okay. So listen, guys, we're going to wind up. Some nice expressions. Helicopter parenting. The black duck, black sheep. Can be someone different. Yes, it can. I pointed out being naughty or bad. It can just be different from the rest of the family, but kind of assuming everybody's good. But yes. Great. Good. Oh, Gokalp, black sheep of the family. Brilliant. So listen, I'm going to wind up here today. Part two. There seems to be a general consensus. Part 2 might be a good idea. Drop a link for the Facebook page. Oh, yes. Let me do that now before I forget. I've got 2 links for you, actually. There's a link for, well, I think you know the Facebook page. Probably more useful is the Facebook group, probably. The Facebook page is just IELTS Speaking Success. Wherever you go, just search IELTS Speaking Success. The actual Facebook group is this one. Okay, and this will be in the notes, right? You'll recognize it because it looks like this when you get there. Chrome window. Here we go. So you'll just see it when you get there. It's IELTS. The IELTS Mastermind. Just come along and join, and you can see 20 people want to join the group. I better let you in. And the other one is the IELTS Speaking Success. This is the page. Okay, so you can find, if you're streaming, actually, you can probably, those of you on Facebook are already there. You're watching this right here and right now. I can probably watch myself live. I can watch myself live. That will mess things up, so I won't do that. And the other one is, oh yes, just to let you know, because a few people asked me about the online course. So I do have an online course, a Udemy. It's on Udemy. That's the platform. It's for IELTS speaking. Great course, even if I say so myself. I'm going to blow my own trumpet. The course price is always changing because Udemy fixed the price. And a few students have asked me, how much is the course? And the answer is, I honestly don't know. The top level course, the top price is $100, but it's never $100. It's always between $10 and $30. But the price changes, right, all the time. So I don't know. But just go and check it out anytime. What I do know is that the price today, because I just checked it, is the lowest price. It's somewhere around $10 or $11. And it translates into your currency. So again, you'll have to work out your currency. But with the link here today, I know for a fact that today it's the cheapest price it's been. So just to let you know, it's there if you're interested to let you have it. Okay, excellent, good. All of this comes in the notes. So the notes, where are the notes? Go to the Facebook group for the notes, or you can go directly to the website, and I'll just give you that as well. I'll take this out. So if you go to, hang on, to the website, this one here, right? Go to the live lessons thingamajig there, and that's where you will find all the notes. They're all down here. All the notes, you can download them, click there, and get all the notes from the past classes as well. So they will be there, but the notes are not instant. It takes me, because I'm teaching as well, so probably later this afternoon, in 5 or 6 hours, sometimes later in the evening, they will be up there. So check in later or tomorrow and you'll be able to get them. Brilliant. Any questions? That's a stupid thing to say, because now I'll have 100 questions. Oh, there's a question. Is hang on a slang? Hang on. Is it slang? No, it's not slang. It's informal. So it's not slang because it's used in all nationalities, right? America, Canada, Australia. It's not regional slang. You can use that in IELTS speaking, yeah. Hang on a moment. Wait a moment. Yes, you could use that. Yes. Great. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Website link. IELTS Speaking Success.com. Website link. Oh, big question. How can I keep confident when taking the speaking test? Basically, the quick answer is so much preparation and learning the language so well that you're confident you can use it. So it's just the more that you're practicing, the more confidence you get. I think one of the biggest dangers for IELTS students is to start learning strange vocabulary or unusual idioms that you don't really know how to use. And then in the test, you think, oh, I'll try and say that idiom, or I'll try and use that fancy word, but you don't really know how to use it. And you lose your confidence because you're thinking, was that right? Can I use it there? So my advice is, in the test, only use idioms you're confident about, that you have already used in conversation or with a teacher, practicing, and you're confident, yes, this is the right idiom for the right context. If you're not sure and you're just trying to show off because you learned it yesterday but you're not sure, better not to use it in the test. Otherwise it will, well, first of all, the examiner will know you don't really know it. And secondly, it'll affect your confidence. You'll be like, oh, was that right? Oh. If you just use the language you know well, you'll be like, yes, I know this is right and I can answer it. You'll be more confident. So the secret's in the practice, really. The more you extend your language skill, the more confident you will be. Quick answer. There you go. I could talk for hours about it, but there's a quick answer. Right, thank you so much. If there are any more questions, I will pick them up and maybe we can answer them on Thursday. Thank you very, very, very much, everybody, for joining. Have a fantastic day. Keep practicing, keep studying, and I will see you on Thursday for part 2 of The Family. Sounds like a blockbuster. Right, see you there. Take care. Bye-bye.